Welcome back to my channel. This CNN poll conducted by SSRS finds that public opinion on nearly every aspect of President Donald Trump's first year back in the White House is negative. I want you to take a listen at this.
All right, we're talking about these brand new CNN polling numbers out just today on the president's approval rating, which is low, just 39%. He's underwater on all the issues. Inside this poll, there are some rather notable shifts, in some cases, some historic metrics. With us now, CNN chief data analyst Harry Enton. Harry, we talked about voters saying that the president's term so far is a failure, but put that in perspective here.
Yeah, it turns out that love or presidencies are not better the second time around, according to the American people. Because what are we talking about here? Trump's term was a success or a failure. You know, back in April of 2024, when it came to term number one, the majority of Americans said that Donald Trump's first term in office was a success, 55%. That's a big reason why he was able to get a second term in office. They look back fondly upon his first term in office. But now come to this side of the screen. Now, after term two, year one, how do Americans view it? Look at that. A failure. Fail. 58%, just 42% say a success. These numbers look a lot more like what it did about 6 months into Trump's term number one than it did looking back upon the entirety of Trump's term number one, which of course gave him that second term in office. The clear majority, 58%, nearly 3 in 5 Americans say it is a.
Okay, so it is a negative. Now, they also said the poll indicates that a majority of Americans believe Trump is focused on the wrong priorities and doing too little to address the cost of living. And I can't agree more with that.
Failure. Okay, so this number, 58% saying it's a failure 1 year into a second term. Where does that rank historically?
Okay, where does it rank historically? Now, this is a little bit difficult, right? Because Trump has had two presidencies, right? Other people who are, say, a year in a term number two, in fact, have had a continuous term. But we're going to try and do it for you right here, which is essentially, okay, term or terms have been a failure. About a year in a term number two. You see this for Donald Trump right here. 58% term number two first year. 58% say failure. Come here. Look at this. Who's the next closest? George W. Bush. 52% said his presidency had been a failure about a year into term number two. So Trump is even worse than George W. Bush after Katrina, after a long period in the Iraq War. And this is really, really bad when you compare it to George W. Bush. Barack Obama was 48%. And then Bill Clinton way down here at 26%. Of course, his approval was sky high. But the bottom line is this. About a year into term number two, Trump's numbers look worse than any other president in which either CNN or the Pew Research Center has asked this question. The only one really close, Joe Biden, if you look here, was at 57% failure in term one, however. Term one, this is term two, but he's even doing a point worse, though, within the margin of error.
So historically
so this is unbelievable. This is impacting a lot in a lot of different ways. Impact on the U.S. Only 41% of Americans believe Trump's second term will fundamentally change the United States and that these changes will remain beyond his presidency, down from 52% in April of 2025.
For presidents in their second term here. So what do people think it will be like when they look back at the second term?
Yeah, okay. So, you know, we're talking about this, and we're talking about 58% who say that Trump is a failure a year into term number two, and that is historically bad. But I think the other thing that is so important is Trump wants to make his mark in history, right? He wants to fundamentally change the United States of America. Well, on this metric, get this. Trump's second term will fundamentally change the U.S., and the changes will remain well beyond his presidency. In April of 2025, it was 52%. A majority of Americans said he'd fundamentally change the United States. Now it's just 41% of Americans who say that term number two will, in fact, fundamentally change the United States. So it's not just that the American people see term number two as a failure. They also don't think that Trump is making changes that will fundamentally change the United States and last well beyond. So you just go across this poll and you look at this, not just the numbers right here, right now, but what people see into the future and how people view everything. And it's just a big F-A-I-L.
Wow, this is brutal. Americans broadly disapprove of how President Trump is handling major issues, with his approval rate at 39% on the economy and 42% on immigration. 42%, guys. Like, he talks about border policy, and he blasts Kamala and Biden for the open border policy they had. Now with his closed border policy, so strict on everything on the border, he has only 40% approval rating. Unbelievable.
Okay, thank God you can spell, because I can't. Didn't know where you're going there. Harry, you can look at this 41% a few different ways. They're very interesting, though, to think of what that means.
So, guys, these are the key issues, or key areas, I should say, voters cited for sending him back to the White House, right? Voter priorities versus administration action. While the administration has taken extensive executive action on campaign promises, voters feel these actions don't align with their primary concerns about the economy, prices, and affordability. Also, immigration, quote-unquote, chaos and personal gain. The panel notes, the CNN panel, constant theme of chaos from White House that does not benefit average Americans. I mean, this guy, Donald Trump, is a theatric. He's running a theater show. A total clown who doesn't know where to start, how to start, what is important for the American people. He is just obsessed over running his clown show. And people are telling him, F you, we don't care. You are a complete failure, a loser, the biggest loser among the recent administration that came in the White House. Unbelievable. Let me know what you think in the comment section.